Hi, I'm Michael and this is California. And we've been covering the SNAP as well as the PEBT programs, which are both great. The SNAP program is really geared towards the general population to help them get additional food. And the PEBT is primarily for school-aged children. But we have been getting a lot of questions about how to get additional food for families with children who are not yet school age. And so there's another program called the Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, or WIC, which can provide food resources for kids who are not yet in school, as well as for pregnant and nursing mothers. So today we're going to be talking about the WIC program, who is eligible, and how can someone apply. Now before we do that, if you like this information, if you find it interesting, if you find it useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. So let's talk about WIC. Now WIC is officially called the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, or WIC. And it's available in all 50 states and was authorized under the Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010. And what it really does is it aims to safeguard the health of low-income women, infants, and children for up to age 5 years old. And it provides food, nutritional education, and referrals to healthcare for pregnant women, infants, and children who are potentially at risk. And since it has begun, it has served millions of Americans, moms, and children, and babies all across America every single year. And additionally, it covers things that are often not covered by SNAP, although it is possible to actually have both SNAP and WIC at the same time. But because of the nature of the eligibility for WIC, you'll generally only be eligible for WIC for a shorter period of time, while SNAP is a program that you can stay on permanently. So let's talk about who is eligible for the WIC program. And the WIC program is a little bit more stringent than a lot of the other public programs out there. So like SNAP or Medicaid or TANF or some of those other programs. It's because the eligibility is based on 4 categories, and you have to be in all 4 categories to be eligible for the WIC program. The first one is categorical eligibility, and that basically means that you have to be a woman who is either pregnant, postpartum, or breastfeeding, or if you have infants who are up to the age of 1 or children who are up to the age of 5. Additionally, you have to have residential eligibility, which basically means you live in the state in which you are applying, as well as income eligibility, which can vary from state to state, but it basically needs to be income between 100% of the federal poverty level and 185% of the federal poverty level. So for example, here in California, for a household of 4, that puts you at $48,470. Or you might actually be eligible based on your participation in other programs like SNAP or Medicaid or Medi-Cal or TANF or a few others. Now the final eligibility category is something called nutrition risk eligibility. And this is the biggest hurdle in comparison to the other benefits programs, which you normally can even just apply online, because it requires a consultation from a health professional, like a physician or a nurse or a nutritionist or a WIC health worker who works with you to assess your level of nutritional risk, because you must have nutritional risk to be eligible for the WIC program. Now, if you want to see if maybe you're eligible, there is an online WIC assessment tool, and it could save you some extra time in advance of going to see someone if you want to check your eligibility. And I'll make sure to put that link down below that we can check to see if maybe you're eligible in advance. So let's talk about how someone can apply for the WIC program. And unfortunately, there is not an online application. Since some of the requirements require that you see a health professional, you first got to go talk to a WIC health professional to show that you have nutritional risk before you can get approved for your WIC benefits. But if you use the online WIC assessment tool and you think you might be eligible for the program, this is when you'd want to make an appointment with your local WIC office. And I'll put another link down below for the California WIC office finder. And all you have to do is put in your address, or actually just your zip code, and then you'll be able to find out which WIC office is closest to you. Additionally, for those folks who do not live in California, I will put the all-state WIC office finder so you can find out which WIC office is closest to you in whichever state that you are in. Now, in general, when you're applying for WIC, the things that you're going to want to bring with you to the application, and they'll tell you this when you make the application appointment, but in general, what you're going to want to bring is all the people who are going to be applying for the WIC program. Additionally, any identification for children under the age of 5, proof of your address, and proof of income. So like current documents like paychecks or tax stubs or letters from your employer showing that you are employed and how much you make. So finally, how do you buy stuff once you get approved for WIC? There's actually a couple ways to buy food. The food that you're able to purchase actually is going to vary from individual to individual because everyone's nutritional risk is different. But there are actually 7 different food packages that are available to WIC beneficiaries. And each of these food packages is designed for a person's varying nutritional situation. So for example, food package number 1 is primarily for infants and nursing mothers and provides formula and other foods for the mothers that are designed for children under the age of 5 months old. While package 4 is for children between 1 and 4 years old and focuses on cereal like those little Cheerios that go everywhere, or milk or eggs or breads or juices for older children or toddlers. So once you get approved for WIC, depending on your state, you will get either vouchers, coupons, checks, or an EBT card that you can use when you go to the store. And in fact, here in California, most folks will get a WIC EBT card that they can use at any store that accepts WICs. And if you're looking for WIC-friendly stores, I'll put yet another link down below that'll show all the WIC-friendly stores nearest to you. Thank you so much for watching our video, and I hope that you found it interesting or useful or at least helpful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Also, if you have any comments or questions, leave those comments or questions down below. We'd love to see your comments and questions. We'll be happy to make a new video or a new post as soon as we can. Now finally, we here at California, we know health insurance. So whether it's Covered California or Medicare or Medicaid or Medi-Cal or private health insurance, we know health insurance because sometimes it can be really confusing coming out of your work insurance and having to find private health insurance. Or maybe you're turning 65 and you're trying to figure out what are your Medicare options. We can help you look at the different options as well as which plan best fits your price as well as your needs. Now, other than that, I'm Michael and this is California, wishing you a happy, healthy day.